sliding very easy.
That was a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be. But got in the tire. I'm going to slide it out the way. Go from there. Alright guys, so we got everything here. The turbo manifold and stuff like that. The spare blocks in the parts room over there. I want to know down in the comments what you guys think about this. I was thinking about putting the spare F23 engine together, or the old engine out of the Accord, do like a fresh rebuild on that, and drop it in this, you know, find an engine later for it. Because I was going to drop a single cam in this for now, just to have something to rage on. Well, not now, but that was the plan. But they cut off the mount brackets and everything to put an F-Series in it. Therefore, I'll have to be like this car is. You know, see how the Accord don't have anything there, just that mount there. They pretty much kind of made that happen for this chassis. So I was thinking the old engine that came out of the Accord, we'll do an OEM rebuild on it, slap the turbo stuff on that, and just have a stock boosted F23 engine in this. It'll still be fun, just for the fact that this car is pretty much completely gutted. As you can see, you know, there's really nothing in this car.
Over your skin, you can see it.
See, the F23 is in the EK hatch. So we now officially have an EK, or F23 swapped EK hatch on the channel. Alright guys, so I went ahead and swapped over some of the studs over. I gotta get 3 more. That head was missing a couple of them. I just wanted to test fit the turbo stuff on it, put that clip on it, and see about radiator fitment. And I was gonna test fit this downpipe on it that came off the Accord to see what I gotta do to make it exhaust. Still undecided if we're going to go full exhaust on this, or we're going to do like the fender exit or hood exit or whatnot on it. Turbo's on there. Going to put the clip on in a second. Alright guys, so I got the turbo stuff on, the downpipe, the drain line. I just want to check clearance for this. All that's on. I'm going to go ahead and put this clip on now right here on the front of the car. See how the clearance is with everything and what needs to be modified, what needs to be done. Because I'm sure it's going to be tight as hell with this in there. Alright guys, so I got the front clip on. I'm trying to test fit the radiator. Pretty much as you see, the turbo's laying on it. I can clock the turbo, so that's fine. Alright, so modify this like I said. Got the oil feed line connected and ran. The return is done. Got the coolant neck on it. Making a little progress, you know. Alright guys, so we made some major progress on the car today. May not look like it, but the engine's in, the turbo's in, plugs are in, turbo stuff's all on, all the turbo lines are on. Starters in, and we're working on trying to get the clutch line on, but the fitting that goes to the actual master over here, it's, I don't know if it's the same, so we're gonna have to pull that out and see if it fits with this. Now I'll see about getting like a Chase Bay one or something like that. I don't know yet. I'm gonna try to do some work on the F23 EK hatch. What I want to try and do is get intercooler mocked up and everything, and I'll get the intercooler piping from the Accord, see how much of it will work on it, what needs to be modified, build tabs for this, try and get this mounted up, and finish the intake manifold so we can try and get that up. Got to figure out wiring, figure out what goes where, what I need to add, what I got to do, if I got to get a different harness, I don't know, because I know the single cam, the F23's got the crank sensor here, and F20s and H22s running in distributor. So I got to figure out that because this harness was modified for an F20B. So you got to figure that out and just keep going. Got to get conversion axles. I'm gonna see if I can make some. If not, then I'm gonna buy a set. All right, guys. So I'm doing what I didn't want to do, but we're gonna have to make it happen. Took the shifter cable and shifter box out of the Accord so we could put in the EK. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the EK. And hopefully this works in it. I don't know. It had a Prelude shifter set up in it, So I'm sure the Accord one and the Prelude ones are all the same. So I'm gonna get this bolted in and connect it, and we'll be back. I got a little more of the wiring on, got this on. There's just some wires like this that are broken. I have no clue where they go, so I'm just gonna have to wait until I get the intake on and all the more accessories on it to see where everything plugs into. Alright guys, so I got the shifter cables connected in here. It's all connected right there, running in the car. I ran into a problem right here. This shifter box does not fit down like the other one did. So I'm gonna have to probably cut this better, where the bottom of this here, this little box part of it, sits down. I'm gonna have to modify this, and we can bolt it all in, get the cables on, and then we'll have a shifter set up, which will be cool. And then I still got to figure out the slave setup. I don't know if I'm gonna try and get like a steel braided one made for it or whatever, or if they make one. I'm pretty sure the EK one will work. So I'm gonna try and look up that, see how much one is, if I can get one here soon. I was digging around and looking around, and this clip here is the clip for the crank sensor. This clip next to here. And I found here the same pigtail that is the style as that, because this will be the crank trigger or crank or cam signal for the H22s, I'm guessing, or something. I'm not sure. But I was thinking that I can go and get this harness. Obviously I'm not going to cut the one off this harness, but I can get this pigtail, plug it into here, and then wire it into that over there, and make like a homemade jumper harness kind of thing, which I believe is kind of what Rod-Wire does, son, when you go F20 in them, because it goes into the distributor. So that will work for that. So that's figured out, which is cool. And now I just got to figure out distributor. Angel brought his jumper harness, but it's different, so that won't work. So I got to figure out what distributor to run or how to wire in a distributor for it. And I did bring the timing cover and crank pulley. Keep busting things out, I guess. All right, timing cover's on, crank pulley's on. While Angel is here, I got his grinder and his Dremel. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this hole out in here a little bigger to try and get the shifter box in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, and then hopefully it works, and I'll show you guys how that came out. Alright guys, so went ahead and made pilot holes there, 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 and right there for the bolts to go through. So I'm going to go ahead and make the holes bigger so the bolts can drop through, put the box in, and try and see if I can get it to bolt down. Shifter box in. I had to throw on the OG shifter setup from the Accord, but check it out. We got first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse. Hell yeah, brother. So, shifter box installed. It's all connected on trans. It goes through all the gears. So that's a step closer. Now I got to figure out this distributor thing, and I got to figure out if I want to do conversion axles on it or if I want to try and rig up a set of axles. But I don't know, because I don't want to snap an axle, and Hondas are very common for that already. I got to mess with intercooler stuff. But like I said, Angel gave me his grinder and his Dremel, so I can use that stuff. So I got that stuff from him, so I can go ahead and cut up what I need to cut. Probably just cut up some intercooler piping and stuff and just tape things up, and I'll take it out to somebody so they can weld it up, because I can't weld aluminum. What I would like to try and do is figure out axle situation. If I can try and build a set of axles. I got the axles from the CG. I know usually I think it's like DA or DC axles people say they use or something like that. I got the part number for them. I just don't remember on the top of my head which ones they were. Alright guys, so here's the EK with the JNCs on it. I mean, it don't poke out as much as I thought it was, and it don't look as bad as I thought. Guys, I just love the stance of this car right now. I'm really digging it. Like, these wheels set it off, I think, in my opinion. I still gotta, like I said, get the front clip stuff for it, so I'll be getting all that soon. I'm gonna be pulling all these studs out of this and get them into here, because the intake is just about ready. I'm gonna try to take the intake tomorrow to a buddy to see about getting the plate welded in on that, and then all I got left really is to clean it all out, blow it out, and then we can put it all together. All of the studs out, they're over there. We're gonna go ahead and throw them in. Let's get these studs thrown in here. All right guys, so we went ahead and got the studs put in the head here. So these are good to go now. I'm gonna go ahead and do now is cut these tabs off of the Accord, clean up this bottom core support, radiator support, whatever you want to call it up, and just tack them on there so I can try and place intercooler, center it, and then go from there. Alright guys, so I got the tabs cut off. I went ahead and switched to the flat disc on this. I'm going to clean these up on both sides so I can weld, and then clean up here on the bottom of the radiator support, and get those tacked up. Alright guys, so the intercooler's tabs are welded up. I'm gonna go ahead and mess with some intercooler piping real quick, see how I can route it. This one needs to be extended a little bit more, so that should work decent over here. This one's a little long, but what I'm doing, I'm gonna try and cut this off here some, so it sits down, because it sits higher than I need it. I want to bring it down. So I'm going to cut this off, put it back in the hole, see what I need to do, if I need to shorten it. Hopefully I can shorten it enough where I can use part of this for the little bit I need over here. Alright, so I went ahead and marked it right here where I need to cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, cut that, and then go ahead and put it back through, and it should be perfectly fine. And hopefully what's left in here should be enough to put over there. We'll find out. Alright, so I got this pretty much how I need it. I just have to get this here to here welded, but all that is on, as you can see. And then this here comes up to here. This is pretty much done. Just got to get that plate welded, but I just slid it on here, put 2 bolts on it to hold it. I'll put the top piece on to try and figure out the rest of the intercooler piping to that. So I'm going to put that top piece on and then figure out the rest. Needs to be welded up and maneuvered a little better, and lengthened and shortened in certain spots. Like here, I want to shorten it because it's really close to the tire right here. So when I do that, I'll set the intercooler back more. Got to build upper tabs still, but yeah, that will fix once this gets cut and then shortened. It'll fix the gap here, and then up here, cut and shorten a little bit. And then this is just here for visual purposes. This is 3-inch, you know, but just something to put up there. But yeah, pretty much will be like that all the way around. So intake manifold is practically like 90% done. All I gotta do is weld in that aluminum plate. I'm probably gonna have them do that and do the aluminum or the intercooler piping and everything at the same time. So all the aluminum work is done. I don't have to worry about going back and forth. Just have it all done one time. Intake manifold, I'm thinking about painting it either silver or do a wrinkle black or something like that. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, if it should be like wrinkle black or just paint it silver. And we're gonna be repainting the valve cover as well. Tomorrow I'm gonna try and go to junkyard and get the distributor for this. If I can find the distributor for it, then we'll have a distributor. So that's the thing, I can't find one, and I don't feel like paying $200 something for a new one from a parts store. We're actually at a junkyard, and I did find an F22 B1 right there. Here's the distributor, but the harness clips are opposite. I don't know if I got to take the wiring, plug them in, and splice them and change them over. Got to see how much they want for the distributor. If it's not too much, I'll pick it up. That's the distributor we need right there. Alright guys, so I went ahead and grabbed the distributor out of here, and there was a EK next to us, and I got that bolt for the upper control arm off. So I got that as well, because we needed it. I'm probably going to try and see if I can get all these little hardwares and stuff for the intake manifold, because we need some. I did get the distributor for it, messing with some wiring and stuff. This is the jumper harness we have, well, Angel has, that he let me use. What I'm thinking of doing is taking this jumper harness, these wirings here, like these pigtails, and building a jumper harness to the distributor. So this plugs into, as you can see, so this right there. This plugs into this right here, okay? And then this here will plug into this here, if I can find the right way. into that. This part right here, plug in together like so. So what I was thinking is, I don't know if this is how it works. We'll work into this right here. You know, it plugs into that. So I was thinking, splice these two together. Got a jumper harness there. Color code these wires are from here, wherever, to this here, and then have a jumper harness. I'm guessing. I don't know. I believe if I do this, just match colors to colors. All these colors match up to this. I know these two obviously match up. It should work. I'm actually gonna head back to the junkyard. They had a DA taggy there. So I'm gonna look up the part number to see if the part number I have for a DA or if it was a DC. Finding out that will tell me if I can get axles. If I can get axles today as well, boom. Alright guys, so I was gonna do that jumper harness thing, and I was looking around and doing some research and stuff. And I guess the chassis harness possibly is what runs, because this plugs into here, there. This is all for like the headlights and stuff, I believe. Somewhere in here was the harness for it. Right here. So this will run around like this. That's one side of the headlights. This is the other side headlights. This plugs into here, like that. And then the actual harness I overlooked plugs into that. This plugs into here as well, like that. Oh, this plugs in here. All right, cool. So that's how the harness runs. We're gonna go to Walmart, get oil, and we're gonna go to parts store, get wrinkle black spray paint, because we're gonna do the intake wrinkle black, and then we're gonna bolt down the valve cover and put a battery on it, see if we can try and do the first start on it. I gotta figure out fuel line as well, but I think we should be able to do the first start today, or crank at least. We're heading about an hour and a half for me to Kissimmee, and we're meeting up with a guy to pick up an engine harness for the EK. It's the Y8 harness that we needed. Give me a really good deal on it. We're gonna go pick that up, and hopefully it's the right harness. And then tomorrow, which this video will travel to, we'll go ahead and get it installed and everything, hopefully do the first start on the car. So I'll catch you guys when we pick up the harness. All right guys, so the next day we're at the shop. Here's the harness that we picked up. It's got everything we need. Three main things are these three plugs that goes into the ECU that we did not have. This is the plug for the distributor harness for, where we can actually use the jumper harness that we had that will jump to that, and we just got to switch from males to females on the other end, and it'll plug straight into the distributor. Alright guys, so the harness is pretty much in. I was looking at a couple things. For some reason, I thought this harness, like this jumper harness I have, was going to work. Yes and no. This part is opposite here, and then these are opposite here, but I'm thinking of just swapping the pigtails on each side. That should work on that. And then also where it connects into the jumper harness for the ECU, I guess this is an OBD2B jumper harness out of the Accord. I need an OBD2A, and then all these plugs will connect that I need. So I'm gonna have to get one of those and either modify this one and get one I need, one or the other. So that's what I gotta do now. I still gotta extend a couple things. Like I said, for the alternator's gotta be extended, and for the starter stuff's gotta be extended. Alright guys, so we went ahead and made a little jump harness for the distributor, and then I was looking around for crank stuff, and I found I'm leaving the crank sensor here, so I extended that to go to the crank sensor. I ran power straight to the pump. We're getting fuel to the fuel filter and everything now, but it's still not starting. It's just cranking. We're not getting spark, and we need OBD2A for this. So I know that's causing an issue. I have a buddy who's got a stock Y8 distributor. In theory, I should be able to plug that in and start the car if everything else is connected right on the engine. But I don't know. Like I say it all the time. I don't know like wiring, electrical stuff. But I know a stock ECU should start it, regardless if it's an F23 or whatnot. Been messing with the EK off camera, and we're getting a spark now. So we're gonna attempt to try and start it, but I don't want to start it without you guys. So the fuel pump's still not kicking on, but we're getting a spark. So what I'm gonna do is spray starter fluid right here with you guys on camera. Open the throttle, and we're gonna try and start it. Didn't work. Okay. Keep digging around. Because we're getting spark. So it should be starting. Let's see. Alright guys, here we go. Alright guys, it stinks though. Sprayed a lot of starter fluid. But we need to figure out why we're not gonna pump. But holy shit, it stinks. I'm gonna get out of here, I'll be back. We got the EK to start. We heard the turbo. We heard it starting. We're getting spark. We used the Buddy's ECU and it got started. Still not getting a fuel pump. I don't know why. I'll look into it. If worse comes to worse, I'll put it on a switch. I really don't care. It's not a daily driver. So, yo, smash the like button. We got the EK to start. So, thank you for subbing, everybody. Thank you for liking these videos for me. Thank you for commenting and talking to me about stuff. And everybody who's helped me through the journey and trying to get the EK to start. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. Got a gas can. I'm going to go run up down to the gas station right down the road, get a few bucks of 93 octane, throw it in the Civic, hardwire the pump, and see if it starts with the pump. If it does, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on the switch. Yeah, get it. Fill it up. Some of that 93 octane right there. Ha ha ha. Chug, 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 chug. Alright guys, so put the fuel in it, and I was just testing the pump to see if I was getting fuel to the rail. So I just put power from the battery to the fuel pump, and me like an idiot wasn't thinking there's no fuel pressure regulator on it, so fuel sprayed everywhere. I had to freaking clean it all up. So fuel just leaked out of here. It was all over the intake manifold. I wanted to try and get it off quick so I don't damage the paint on it, but literally all over the firewall, everything. Like you can still see gas sitting right in here too. Alright guys, so we got the line on, fuel pressure regulator on, vacuum line on it, run power from the battery to the fuel pump, see if she'll start on her own. I'm gonna go ahead and put this here, which is gonna be power for the fuel pump, right here. Right here, see? Let me show you guys. Don't mind the smoke. And then set you guys right here and start it. Yo! Civic ran. It turned on and it stayed running on its own without starter fluid, without burning any more hair off of my body. Yo, we have a running F23 swapped EK hatch, but not just any F23 swap, or any F23 swap. It's a boosted F23 swap EK hatch. Get a belt for it, get axles for it, and then we can get it tuned. We got the EK hatch running, it's on its own, idling, sounds amazing, sound beautiful. Now we got to work on trying to get it moving. Therefore, we're heading up to see the other homie Angel at Vato Zone. We're gonna pick up some axles for this thing, and for those that be commenting and asking about it, you run 94 axles. When I get the axles, I'll show you guys the part number on it, so you guys know which ones you use. So yeah, let's get in this place, hook up with the homie, buy these axles, and then we get to put some axles in the stein, you heard? Alright guys, so we got the axles, sunny out. Next step is fluids. Yep. So get this MTF for it, head back to the shop, and start tackling things and getting it all put back together. And hopefully by the end of this video, we can make the car rolling. Well, not rolling, but moving on under its own power. So let's get these parts for y'all. All right, guys, so we got the axles. These are the part numbers for them. I can't say that these are the actual axles for it, but this is what was told that needs to be used. So, yep, 8006N and 8005N is the axle you use. So this one is passenger side, this one will be driver. And then you use the intermediate shaft from an Accord or something like that, from what I was told. I'm gonna try the one out of the CG. If it works, dope. If not, then we'll have to get one. So, and we also got the 2 bottles of genuine Honda manual transmission fluid. Take this wheel off, and I want to see if the axle actually slides into the hub board of the spindle. If so, then we should know that it should at least fit in there, hopefully. So let's go ahead and take the car, or get the car up in there, take this wheel off, and go from there. So we got the car up on a jack. No jack stand because everything else is on jack stands here. Got the wheel off, got the shaft. You take the head of the shaft and stick it in the hole like so. See that? See that? Yeah, brother. So that means this part goes in. So now what we're gonna do is take this off, and get this spindle assembly out of the way. Axle in the transmission. Try and install this axle. If it works, dope. We know this axle works. And then I'm gonna get the intermediate shaft off of this, or it's in the trunk, and then we'll go ahead and address the other side. So let's get to shafting. All right, guys. So we got the spindle out, the upper control arm and everything is off. We got the fork off. All you need is 14, 17s for this, and a hammer and get it all taken off. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is get the axle put in, and we'll update you guys then. All right, guys, so axle's in, everything's all buttoned up, boom, boom, boom. It went in perfectly fine, there's no gap. Still got a little bit of play in it like it should. Not binding or rubbing or touching on anything, so we're good on that one. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get the intermediate shaft out of the trunk of the Accord. Go ahead and get that bolted up on the back of the block, get on the transmission, and then go ahead and do the driver's side axle. So let's get this wheel on and put this back down and keep going from there. Alright, guys, so I got the axle out, intermediate shaft off. Usually I get like a chisel or something and then give it a few good wacky doodles and stuff, and then usually you can get them off like that. Like so. I gotta see though how this works, if this is the right axle or the right intermediate shaft. Not, and it is not. So this isn't the intermediate shaft that we need. All right, y'all. So obviously that axle won't work with this half shaft that we have. So what I'm gonna do is tomorrow pick up this video, go to a junkyard, get an intermediate shaft or half shaft, whatever you want to call it. I know I said I was gonna pick this video up tomorrow when we went to the junkyard and got parts. But Angel decided to come out here tonight, and he had one of those half shafts that we needed. So here it is. The axle fits on it. Dope. So I'm gonna get this up in the air, pull this wheel off, and throw this axle in real quick while he's over here busting his butt trying to get a tire off and mounting the tire. So we can get this EK done, and he can have camera kit. So let's get to work. There's an axle in on this side, and there's an axle on this side. And we're getting the, it's time to get this out right here. Boom, boom. Yeet, yeet. So we got this out. I'm gonna try and run, see if I can get this here, the clutch line from the Accord in this, and then try and get it back in there and all that. So we can have working clutch, and then we'll start up and see if we can run it through the gears. I got gear oil for it as well, or MTF. Put it in the transmission and everything, and then see if it'll cycle through the gears. All right, so this clutch line is too big to fit inside the elastic for it, so I'm gonna have to get a different clutch line, even though I just bent the hell out of this one from the Accord, but it's all good. So I'll get this pulled out from here, and then went ahead and got this extended over here. Got it zip tied up here, so it's not touching anything near the manifold or up pipe and stuff. That's going that way. We got some RTV on that drying. We got this wheel back on over here. Thing all tightened back up. Got that clutch line out. Right now I'm working on figuring out radiator hose and stuff. I had a whole bunch of random radiator hoses laying around. I'm gonna see if any of these will work. We'll see. Angel said his just ran stock Honda Civic ones. So maybe I can run Honda Civic ones for this. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'll keep updating you guys as we go. Alright guys, so I went ahead and put this sensor in here for the wideband. I haven't plugged it in yet. I still gotta put the dash stuff in. Got these wires here extended for the coolant temp sensor and everything. I'm gonna try and start it, see if it idles on its own better. We can rev it from the inside. So let's get that going. Alright guys, so pump's rigged back up, battery's in. Let's go ahead and start her up. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and put it in first gear and then start it. We don't have a clutch line or anything, so we'll just start it in first gear just to see the wheels spin. Oh, wheels spun. That's a good thing. Axles are working. Alright guys, so you saw, we put it in first gear, started up, wheels are spinning. That's a good thing. I mean, like I said, the axles are working, they're doing this thing. So those are the axles you're using it. I showed you guys the part number, so now you guys know. Whoever's doing the swap, I know a few people messaged me asking me a few questions on doing the swap in EK. Well, there you guys go. Those are the two part numbers you need, and they're right here. The 8006N and this one's the 8005N. So yeah, that's what you'll use for that. The half shaft, you need the one that is the opposite of this one. This is a female style, you need a male style. Everything else went together perfectly fine, but we went ahead and buttoned up a little bit of stuff on the EK. Didn't make any footage of it. All we really did was throw the dash in it, wire up or zip up the wiring on it, and got the wheels back on it. We pushed it out the other day to take some pictures of mine and Angel's car. But right now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take y'all on the first drive in the Turbo EK hatch. Remember guys, we still have no brakes, so I'm literally having to use emergency brakes to slow it down and stop it. The battery's just chilling up top, like on the intercooler piping up there. But the car does run and drive. It has a fuel cut obviously because it's stock injectors and stuff, and I'm sure there's other things wrong with it. We still gotta do radiator and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll get that all taken care of soon. But I mean, it goes through the gears and everything, you know. Alright guys, so you guys saw, we did the first drive in the EK. Horrible. It has no brakes at all. It's got the e-brakes, and the steering wheel's missing one of the brackets that hold it up, so the steering wheel falls up and down and stuff. That was a pain. Alright guys, so Lucas just finished it up. As you see, we're gonna reach in here, turn the key. The fuel pump's running. That's running. It starts with the key.